Good to see you.
Alright, so I wanted to give you guys a rundown on the walkthrough of a fire arrow Zon, okay? So this is what I started with this latter season. I actually went with the boa Zon. It's not usually recommended, but I found out that it's an actually really good one. Well, for me anyway. This is for hardcore. This is a hardcore build, and it is fire arrow. So what we're going to do is we're going to start pumping up this fire arrow as soon as possible, right? You're going to want 1 point in here, 1 point in here. You're going to want this one first, or this one first. And then you're going to want to put this in here. This will be your third skill, okay? And then you're going to want to pick this up as soon as possible. The key here is to not put too many points in here. You want to put all your points into this one right here, because it's the synergy that gives it its buff, and it holds its own throughout all of normal. Okay, so you're not going to need to be putting any points here until probably the very earliest Act 4, and you're not going to want any more than 5 points in here by the time you end up at the end of Act 5. Because what you want to do is you want to do Tristram runs. As soon as you get Kane, you want to do Tristram runs until level 14, right? And then once you get to level 14, you want to run to the Black Marsh, and you want to farm 3 Ral Ruins. And what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to put them into a hunter bow. You're going to want to put them into the fastest bow that you have. You don't want to put it into a longbow, you want to put it into the fastest bow that you have, because the faster you get out your arrows, the faster you clear in your area. So this fire damage right here is also attributed to this right here, this exploding arrow. It takes all that fire damage from the bow right here, and it calculates it into the exploding arrow. So I'd have a 200 max damage fire exploding arrow right here, right? Because it takes all the fire damage, okay? And then what you're going to want to do is you're probably going to want to pick up a, find any charms that are cold damage, throw them in there just to be safer, because this is a hardcore build and you're going to want to slow some stuff down as much as possible. Okay, but what you're going to want to do when you first start out is you're going to want to pump your energy. Okay, you start out with 15 energy, you're going to want to get it to at least 30, 35 as fast as possible. Okay, some people say don't put any energy in here. That's completely wrong. You definitely want energy for this build, okay? Because if you sit with 15 energy, you're gonna have a miserable time going back and forth down and wasting a lot of gold at Akara on pots. Okay? So what you're gonna want to do is you're gonna want to get the bow, right? You're gonna want to get the bow, and you're gonna want to get the Ral Runes. You're gonna want to stick them in theirs. So first, what you're gonna want to do is you're gonna want to get your hunter's bow, right? And you're just going to want to start throwing all your rubies in there. Alright? Start throwing all your rubies in your 3-socket hunter bow. The first one that you get, throw it in your stash. And then you're going to have extra fire damage, okay? And, see, this is my setup here. This decoy is your best friend. You're going to love it once you get to, Act 4. Okay, that's going to be one of your main button presses right there, and this one here. Fire arrow is going to be doing a lot more damage than this is at first, because you're going to be pumping it. It shouldn't happen till about halfway through the game. You will, maybe Act 3, you'll start seeing it overlap on your fire arrow's damage. And eventually, once you get to Act 5, you'll want to start putting a couple points into here, and then this will be your main damage dealer right here. Because this is only 3 mana, and this is 5 mana at start. This doesn't go up at all. So you're going to want to keep putting your points into here, because it converts 37% of your damage to elemental damage. Right? So, now that we've said that, you're going to want to put, I don't know, maybe around, just before you get to Act 2, you're probably going to want to have at least 35 in strength. But you're going to want to focus on this energy right here. I would recommend 40, 45, 35, and then before you get to Act 4, you're going to want to start putting some stuff in the Vitality as well. Because this is it's an elemental build, and it doesn't really matter too much about your attack rating. So what it does is it hits the enemy regardless, and it explodes, right? And as you can see here, this gives you attack rating anyway. And mostly through Act 1, you're not going to have any problems hitting anything. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to keep putting stuff in your dexterity through Act 1, and maybe a little bit through Act 2. But once you get to those death beetles, and you know you're getting ready to hit them, you're going to want to start putting points into Vitality. Okay. You're going to want this at 35. You pretty much just leave that there throughout the whole game, throughout all of normal. So you're going to want at least, I don't know, 50 to 60 Vitality, so you're not getting one shot by, like specific baddies like in the Durance of Hell or the Durance of Hate, by those skull guys, right? And then you're going to want good old Emilio with his Defiance aura. So you're going to want, and that pretty much just sums it up for the starter build of hardcore. But I can't stress enough how much of a difference it makes to start putting energy in here right away. Because this is the starter build anyway. This will end up being changed into an Ice Maiden, and she will end up using the Ice skill tree eventually. But as you're working your way through normal, you're gonna want to use, if you're gonna go bow and you really decide you want to go bow and you're really particular for going bow, the best way to do it is to go fire arrow, put one in exploding, and when there's big mobs, just explode them, and when you're at your single target, you use this. And then you're going to want to get your 3-socketed belt as soon as you possibly can as well. And the more resistances you have, the better off you're going to be, because you're already going to be doing a crap load of damage once you hit level 19. And when you're running that Countess to get these Ralph runes, right after you get done with Tristan, you should be level 14. And after that, just keep running until you're 17, and you should have enough for your tall F to put in your stealth. And then this Nader Helm is also going to help out a lot, because it gives you 2 mana after each kill, and that helps a lot with the exploding arrow. So you're just going to keep working your way up to those rows. You'll have 3 rows, tall, and an F and a Nader Helm by the time you reach level 17. Just keep on running the Countess until you have all of this. And once you have all of this, then you're ready to complete the entire game. You can solo it yourself. But like I said, you're going to want 35 into energy at least. 35, 40, maybe even 45. And you're going to want it, if you're done putting, as soon as you get done putting points into See, that's, what is that? 5, 10, 15. 5, 10, 15, 20. So you'll be level 5 by the time you have enough energy to pretty much just go out the whole game. And then that'll be enough for your fire arrow, just fine. And then once you do that, you'll want to put a couple points into strength, like 5, 10 points into strength. And then once you get your 5 to 10 points into strength, so you can wear a decent set of armor, you're going to want to start pumping the dexterity. Once you start pumping the dexterity, you should be around level 20. And then by the time you finish Andariel, you're gonna start thinking about vitality. I know you are, because you're playing hardcore. And that's perfectly fine if you want to start dumping some points into vitality, because it's the safer option, and your arrows explode, so you really don't need really high attack rating. Alright? So that is Love Muffin. This is what she looks like. And we can just go to Frigid Highlands real quick, and we'll show her up. Let's throw this out here real quick. Get that floating arrow. Get that decoy out there. And you'll just blow up everything. And that decoy is epic. Okay? So there's that. And then we can go down here and do Shank. It's not going to be a problem. Throw that decoy out there, let him attack it. Throw a couple pots in there, because we could be running free and out of mana right now if we didn't put infinity. Alright, there's Shank. But we have to rush because you never really know whether it's going to be an element, which would be okay with me if it was ice or fire, because I am going to end up switching to ice. But yeah, pick up all your charms as soon as you see them dropping, because anything is going to, any of your fire damage from your charms is going to add to your exploding arrow. Can't really think of too much more. I might as well show this off. 27, 17 faster heat recovery. Not too shabby. We'll give it to Berserk for the show.
At your service.
Because why not get some extra money? Alright, so that's that.